Hi, I'm Matt from REAX, and this is the Kit Room. In each episode of the Kit Room, we'll bring one of our brand partners in to show their equipment, how it's best used, how to take care of it, and all the features and benefits so you can get the most from the kit that you use. Then, we will hand the kit to one of our instructors who will test it and play with it here in our centre in Blackpool and give you their honest opinion.
It's so much easier to get on and off.
This is the REAX Kit Room. Joining me in the Kit Room today, we have Bob Murdoch from Skylotec. We're really excited to have Bob and Jamie with us today. Skylotec is the main partner we have in our training centre. In fact, all of our instructors and every candidate that comes into the centre here in Blackpool wears Skylotec lids whilst they're training. Bob, thanks for coming.
Great, pleasure to be here.
You've got a great array of kit. We love Skylotec kit here at REAX. We're going to go through a few items today that we use a lot, and a couple of things that might be really exciting to you at home. First thing we're going to look at is the Skylotec Neon harness, the Ignite range, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm going to grab one of these. It looks a fabulous piece of kit, mate. I like the colours on it, but you know I'm not the technical person here. Is there a reason for the colouring on it?
No, the colours on it colour code lots of different parts to the harness. So on our fall arrest points, they're always colour coded in orange, and if we turn it round, then we'll see the front fall arrest attachment point as well, your front sternal point. On our lower or ventral point, we have the grey for work positioning. So this would be a sit harness position, Ep.03. And then on the side Ds for work positioning 358, these are also colour coded in grey. We have a orange shoulder pad, which will show you the left-hand side of the harness. Black shoulder pad will show us the right. We have an orange pinstripe on the top half of the harness. And then on the leg loops and the lower, we've got a grey pinstripe. So if the harness was in a mess on the floor, we can immediately grab it, orange, up, left, get the harness the right way round. If it's twisted and we're looking at the inside of the webbing, there's no grey pinstripe to it. And again, on the legs, on the inside of the webbing, there's no grey pinstripe. We've got the main two stripes for the bottom half of the harness, but on the outside, you see we always have a set of pinstripes. So if your webbing is twisted, so when you're doing your buddy checks, you can always quickly see whether you've got a twist in it, whether they've got the harness on the right way round, upside down.
Fantastic. So it's not just a pretty looking piece of kit, it actually has a function to that colour coding as well, which I didn't know about before Bob told me today. What I noticed on the harness, which I really liked on the thigh straps, were the gear loops. It seems like a great position for them. Can you talk us through that?
For our harness, we've got a lot of gear loops. We have the label, so we've got safe working loads for all of the gear loops. The gear loops on the leg are nice and easy to reach, especially when you're sat on the harness. If you're sat on the ropes and you're carrying a lot of equipment, you might not be as mobile as normal. So having to twist round or fumble for things at the back, or if you need to park something quickly, if you're in that sitting position, especially with feet up against the wall or the rock, just straight into the back of the leg is nice and easy to clip. So you can store tools, store equipment very quickly, get them on and off as you need.
Thank you. Bob, I ask everybody about their kit. What's its average lifespan on a piece of kit like this?
It's always going to depend on how much people use it. In a very hard environment, it's not going to last as long. From manufacture, we have 2 years of shelf life. So for resellers and for people who buy large amounts of stock and keep it in their storeroom, they can have 2 years of storage. From the date of first use for soft goods, it's 10 years. And that's going to depend, as we said, on usage. So the end user needs to do a risk assessment on, are they using it in very harsh environments? So if you were doing quarry work, mining, geotechnical, painting work, I'd expect it to last a lot less. If you were just doing inspection, maintenance, building FM type work, then I'd expect you to get a lot longer out of it.
And to maximise its life, have you got any tips for looking after this piece of PPE?
Washing the kit is always a good one.
Right.
It doesn't get done very often, and it will depend on what chemicals or dirt you're getting on your harness. But washing the product and drying it properly and keeping it stored correctly will make the equipment last longer. It's nicer to use, it adjusts better, the webbing moves through the buckles better. You wash it in hand temperature water with soaps which are neutral pH. Basically, if you can get it on your skin, then you can get it on your harness. If it's got high pH, high chemicals, then we don't want to use it. We don't want very hot washes. We don't want to force dry it, so no putting it over a heater, no putting it in direct sunlight. It should be well ventilated, cool, and out of direct sunlight and away from any contaminants. Don't store it where you store your fuel for the two-stroke.
So some top tips there from Bob about how to take care of your kit and maximise its life. But Bob, what would we use this brilliant bit of kit for? And is there any other features you want to go through?
So on this harness, the Neon has a chest descender on it, so it's obviously aimed at that rope access market. So whether you're at IRATA, FISAT, SPRAT, Soft, great rope access harness, work positioning, rope access, use it in telecoms, geo work, FM, hanging banners, whatever you need. Putting cable trays and lightning conductors down buildings, all aspects of rope access. There are a ton more features that go with the harness. We've got parking points, so if you're working with your full arrest lanyards, you've got parking points on the shoulders which aren't load bearing, so they'll pull out. Obviously, if you use a Skylotec lanyard, then we've eliminated that hazard as well. Down on the waist, we've got 2 loops, so if you're using work position seats, you can clip the seat to the side, keeping your D free, so there's lots of room for your cow's tails, your descenders, short links, whatever you may be using on there. On our buckles, we have unique buckles which have an extra bar. They're designed not to slip and creep, so you won't be adjusting your buckles all day long. And the same with the stainless steel Octalock buckle, great for resistance, so less chance of rust. And again, a sprung loaded keeper, so they don't creep. You're not going to be readjusting your buckles all day long. Even the webbing is a special webbing. The webbing's woven with a ridge to it like a corrugation. So when the webbing sits down inside the buckle, again, it prevents that creep and movement during the day.
It's time, friends, for us to hand this Skylotec Ignite Neon harness to our MD.
Thanks for that, Matt. Because I haven't actually put this harness on in anger in any way, I thought I'd go and chat to somebody that has. So Ian's one of the senior instructors here at REAX, and he's been using the harness for 18 months?
Yep,
or so.
18 months, yeah.
So I thought I'd ask you how you found the harness.
Yeah, it's really good in general. It's really comfortable. It's quite well made. There's quite a lot of things that I like on this. One of the things I like is the attachment for a podium seat. It keeps this ventral attachment uncluttered. Other things I like are the side Ds that fold back. Handy, keeps it out of the way, stops you getting caught on things like that. The other thing as well, which people may comment on that it doesn't look quite right, is the chest descender.
Yeah, it looks kind of off to one side, doesn't it?
But actually, it works really well. I think it works particularly well because as the rope path goes through, it avoids this D-ring here.
Yeah.
So it does work particularly well.
Great.
Things that maybe I'm not over impressed about is that particularly the webbing, this fold back on the stitching isn't really big enough. And when you extend it to take the harness off, putting it back on the second time, it's awkward to get the webbing back through.
Especially if you're wearing gloves or something.
Yeah,
or outside.
It's really difficult.
There's not much to grab there, really, is there?
No. But on the whole, yeah, it's really good. Plenty gear loops, like I say, it seems really well made, and yeah, I'm really happy with it.
And you've used it across multiple different types of
Yeah,
courses.
we've used it for work at height, rope access work, even confined space work. And like I say, it's performed really well for everything we've done. So yeah, really impressed with it.
Great. And most importantly, would you buy one?
Yeah, I certainly would. Yeah.
Fab. Thank you very much, and back to you guys.
So there you have it. That's Keith's opinion about the Skylotec Ignite Neon harness. But we love to bring you an exclusive at the kit room, and we're really delighted that Bob's brought a brand new, well, reasonably new piece of kit with him. It's called the Cric. Great title. What does the Cric do, mate?
Does lots of stuff. It really is a cool piece of kit. It has many functions. We can use it to do lots of things. We can swap things out of our normal rack, so we carry less kit, we carry smaller bits of kit, we carry lighter bits of kit. You can replace a lot of items off your rack with it, so you can use it as a hand jammer, you could use it as a pulley, we can use it as a progress adjust. Small and light. I like to use it with the Ovix carabiner, which is a really nice, light, short carabiner, especially when we're thinking about saving height. The Cric itself is a very light device, less than a large steel carabiner, probably about the same weight as a large aluminium carabiner. Even on the inside, things like the cam, We've gone to great expense, really cutting edge engineering to make this cam as small and as light and as thin as possible. If you look at the cams that you'll find in standard hand jammers, there's a lot more material in there, therefore a lot heavier, and we still get all the strength. This is all fully rated, so full strength hand jammer, full strength pulley. It's a great bit of kit.
It's fantastic. What's the price point on it?
It's about £85, 85 euros,
Sounds
depending
like a
where you
bargain.
buy. When you think you can replace one hand jammer, one pulley and one carabiner in a hauling system with just this one bit of kit, then it's very cost effective.
Are there any other cool features that we can use it?
There's a really nice little thing, and not many people will notice it. If you've ever used a fixed cheek pulley, you'll know you've got to use your oval carabiner because you can't pinch the cheeks, they bend them in. And this would be very much like that fixed cheek pulley because the sides are fixed.
Right.
The oval of X sits in there perfectly, just hangs nice and straight, everything's great, yeah?
Yep.
If we change it and we use an offset D carabiner, so this carabiner's got a big angle to it.
Yep.
If I put it through, still hangs nicely between the two cheeks because the hole on the back is a slightly different orientation and shape to the hole on the front. So that with an offset D or an oval, everything sits perfectly.
Fantastic. Great. It seems like there's almost limitless applications for this little bit of kit.
It's that multi-tool.
Well, I think you agree. What a fabulous piece of kit with many applications. You'll be able to buy it on our web shop at www.reaxlimited.com. And if you click on the link below, you'll be able to see a video of the Skylotec Cric. The next product we've got to look at, Bob, if I could just move you slightly to the right, is the ACX. Now, friends, I recently spent a couple of days with Bob at Rail Live, and we got to play with this piece of kit. I liked it so much I asked him to bring it today, and Jamie's going to be demonstrating it for us. Talk us about the ACX power ascender, what it's used for, how it works.
It's a state-of-the-art machine in terms of load, functionality, construction, testing, certification. It's certified against the machinery directive, both for lifting people and equipment. So in terms of applications, anywhere where you're going to be moving people up or down, or equipment up or down, it's got a role to play. It can be used for dragging things horizontally, so we're talking about tunnel work, inspections. So if we look at sort of industries or applications, it's massive in the renewables industry. The access and work on blade inspection has been greatly improved by the use of power ascenders. We have hydro dams, hydroelectric facilities where they have real inspection issues getting down and inspecting the inside of these tubes. For rope access or just for a normal person to access these places is really difficult and really hard work. It takes a lot of effort. But by using a power ascender, we reduce the effort on that person. In any application, it gets used in stage, lighting, rigging, telecoms, utilities. You can use it in construction, in picking and warehousing systems. It's really a simple device to use, and the technicians who use them are always inventing new ways and new techniques and great ways to use it. Skylotec will run training courses for end users and instructors to show them how to use it properly and safely. But after that, as long as you follow those principles, you can take it and use it in such a wide variety of areas. We have different models for different applications. For work done in the rainforest in the Amazon, we have a petrol model so people can get up and access those canopies. So for real distance and wilderness, we have a product for that. We have a product for working in wet environments or muddy environments for rescue with the RCX. So we have a whole family of them. And Actsafe, which is part of the Skylotec family, were the inceptors of powered access devices. So we really have been doing it longer than anyone else on the market.
It's fantastic that you can rig it for both equipment and people. It feels to me like, I don't know a great deal, but it feels to me it's a bit of a game changer in terms of time saved. When you're saving time, the cost of having people on a job, it seems like a great piece of kit to bring in.
You're going to save time. So saving time is going to save money. If you're going to save time, you're probably saving energy and effort. If we're saving the energy and effort, it really changes who can do jobs, how often they can do jobs and how long. But now we can look at maybe people who aren't as strong or maybe not as skilled, so whether they're an inspector who's not done rope access or they're someone who maybe can't do a full 8-hour shift on the rope but is really technically competent. With a power ascender, you can get those people up there and get them working. The jobs, the technical parts, so whether they were an electrician, NDT, inspector, whatever, we can now get those people up and into place much quicker and much simpler. Being able to complete the jobs quicker means we can do more jobs and companies can earn more money. Getting people to work in a more sustained way means that we can extend the careers of people without breaking their body so much, so we can increase the lifespan of not only the equipment and other things, but also the people doing it. And if we do that, we can retain knowledge and expertise, because by the time you're 40 or 50 and your body's starting to really regret some of those hard days on site, you can still get up there and work even when you're not quite feeling as sprightly as we did once upon a time.
And you've got the twist grip, which will take us up and down, but also it's got a remote control for use from the ground as well.
We have a Bluetooth. It works for about 150 metres and it really opens up the applications. So it could be part of your rescue procedures. If you needed to lower someone down, you just press a button and down they come. So your rescue is really quick and simple then for that first immediate response. We can use it, say if we're lifting loads up a transmission mast, you might have a mast which is 150 metres high. We can start at the bottom with a remote control and send it up, but then when it gets to that last metre or so, the technician at the top can take control.
Great.
So the machine will always have control, can always override.
Yeah, so one doesn't cancel out the other.
Exactly.
Well, what a great piece of kit. I'm going to have to see whether we can get an ICX here to play with in the near future. We're really proud to be a servicing partner with Skylotec, as well as selling their equipment. We currently service the Milan device, the Milan rescue device, the constant rate descender, or CRD. Bob, can you talk us through the Milan, the variants of it and the best uses of it?
Yeah, I'd love to. So we have our first model, the 27. Simple device, and we just use this for escape and evacuation. And really the applications and places, it's wherever you need to escape and evacuate from. We do a lot with industry, with renewables, with warehousing and picking systems, with the maritime industry and cruise ships. The devices are certified not only to the EN standards, ANSI standards, NZ standards around the world. We also have the maritime standards, so RENA and LLoyds certification, so specifically for that maritime industry. And one of the great things with the kit, so the 27 for evacuation, the 28s and 29 which we can use for rescue because we've got the lifting point and the hub to lift with as well. So 27, great for your escape and evacuation. And then we go on to the 28 and the 29. So the 28 has the hub for rescue, the 29 has the extra power takeoff for the rescue device driver so we can lift as well. So in terms of industries, we use them in such a wide variety of industries: tower crane rescue, renewables, power generation, transmission. It's really anywhere where that rescue is going to take place. And the great thing with the Milan is how safe it is. So there's no cut rescues. Cut rescues are never a good thing because there's always an element of risk with it. With the Milan and the Milan Power, we're always going to connect to the casualty, lift the casualty without any complicated systems, hauling devices. We just turn the hub left, turn the hub right, they come up, they go down. It's exactly the same using the RDD. We can just lift them further with even less effort, so it's simpler and easier. All of the devices can come in a sealed pack, which is great for the cost of ownership because we're going to extend the lifespan and reduce our servicing and inspection costs. If a device isn't in a sealed pack, you're going to look at it annually. Every 5 years, you're going to change the parts on a full service. The device will last 10 years when it's not inside a seal pack. Inside a standard seal pack, it's going to last 15 years, and the inspection is simpler because it's in a sealed set. You just need to open the bag or the box, look at the moisture indicator, check the outside of the foil bag, mark it, put it all back. If we go on to the endurance pack, then that's going to last 30 years. So a seal pack, 15 years, then it's taken out, it has a full service. So all the consumable parts are changed, textiles, brakes and so on. With the endurance pack, we've extended that all the way to 30 years. So there's no need for any work at 30 years. So in terms of, say, the renewable industry, there's a big cost in having to bring a kit down, bring it back onto shore and service it and then take it back. So we've completely eliminated that extra cost at the 15-year point. We've got external verification and testing, so we can guarantee that 30-year lifespan, and that's going to cut down the cost of ownership even further.
That's fantastic, and that's one of the things I love about Skylotec products is that many manufacturers might put, it's guaranteed for 30 years. You've done it based on its historic evidence of it lasting 30 years.
Yeah.
So originally, many of you who've had a Milan device would know it was 10 years lifespan on it, wasn't it? And now it's gone to 15 and now to 30, because it can be proven that it will still be good to go.
And verified by that external body as well. So it's not just us as a manufacturer, it's an actual notified body who are verifying that fact.
So you've got absolute peace of mind that
Correct.
that piece of kit, when you need it, and hopefully you never will, is going to be good to go. Well, the Milan's a great piece of kit. It's now time to hand it over again to our MD.
We're really familiar with the Skylotec Milan at REAX, primarily because we are the service partner for servicing and resealing of these devices in the UK. But not only that, we've actually used these devices in training at our training centre since about 2015. And in the last year alone, we've sold hundreds of these devices into our clients. And we wouldn't do that if we didn't like the device. It does what it says on the tin. It's an amazing bit of engineering. We've got lots of in-depth footage on our YouTube channel already around the different models, the functions, demos of rescues. So if you want to see any of that, we're going to link those in the description below. We've also brought on board a fleet of hire units. So we've got about 15 to 20 Milan hire units in our fleet now. And they seem to be busy. They're out and about all the time for good reason. They're a great device. Bob also brought in for us to have a look at an Inceptor GRX helmet. However, it's something we're pretty familiar with as well, as you can see. We actually have over 40 of these in our training centre, and we use the different colours to denote what type of course they're on, so that on the CCTV and for other instructors we can denote whether they're on a confined space or a worker height and rescue course, so white and red. We've used these for a number of years. We really like them. We think they look really cool. And functionally working really well. We also really like the Fidlock magnetic strap. That's a really cool feature, and one that I also have on my motorbike helmet. There's not really a bad thing I can say about these. The only thing I wish there was on these is that the vents would shut and open. These are just come as vented or not vented. So that's something maybe, you know, that would be nice, because if we go on particularly different sites, some require it to be shut or open. But that's it. I'll hand back to Bob.
So that's a little introduction into some of the array of equipment that is available from our friends at Skylotec. Thanks for watching today, and thanks to Bob and to Jamie for coming in to see us. I'm sure you'll be back again for another episode, because we've got so much we didn't go through today. If you've enjoyed this episode, do click like. Do click on www.reaxlimited.com. Go to our shop. You'll find all of this wonderful Skylotec gear at great prices.